No worries. All right. Well, then we'll just dive in. I,
All
I
right.
will. We'll just forge ahead. Some of you have seen me speak here and networked with me before, and some of you haven't. But I was. I had started a business back in 2001. I started an ad agency out of my experience in first of all, my background is usually much more professional, but it's cold out here in Dallas. So I'm not sitting near that window you see way behind me because it's too cold outside. So I'm in the middle of the room where it's warmer. But at any rate, back in 2001, I started an ad agency after about 20 years in the film business, doing movies and TV shows and a lot of TV commercials. And a friend said, "Hey, you have a new business. You should come to our networking group." I went, "Oh, okay. I'm not sure what that is, but okay." And I showed up at a country club here in Dallas, and she introduced me around. There was a room full of about 60 people. They were standing around in little different groups around the room, and some of the groups were friendlier than others, and lots of folks mingling, and a few people were wearing suits, and a few people were wearing shorts and t-shirts, and it was a mixed group. And we sat down, and one of the guys got up and started talking about the group, and he said, "In just a moment, we're all going to do our 30-second commercials." And I looked at my friend and said, "You didn't tell me I was going to have to do anything." She said, "Don't worry, just do what everybody else does." And as you know, that's a pretty open statement because everybody did something different. And I paid attention. And as we went around the room, some people were entertaining, and some people were not. And some people made us laugh, and a lot of people did not. A couple people even had the whole room end their commercial with them, and that was funny. When it came my turn, I stood up, I said something, I sat down. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you now what I said then. What I can tell you is whatever I said got zero results. But that was the beginning of my journey on figuring out this whole networking thing. And I wound up taking a class or two about the elevator pitch. I wound up understanding that business networking is your most basic form of advertising. And as an ad guy, I started owning that, and I started speaking about the elevator pitch way back then, a few years later in 2004. And I've been speaking and teaching the elevator pitch ever since, and became an expert on networking over time, and then became an expert on speaking because I was speaking about networking. So just a little bit of credibility building there. But what we're going to do today is talk about some things that you should and shouldn't do when it comes to your elevator pitch. And I've got a worksheet for the talk. I just posted a link in the chat. You can download just by clicking on the link. You can download the worksheet. It's a Word doc, so you can even take notes when you download it. And it's yours to use as you wish. Just leave my name on it as you use it. That's all I ask, because it'll be useful for you. And you'll find that the tools there are pretty universal when it comes to networking. The thing that some people may forget is that the elevator pitch, your 30-second commercial, is your foundation for your networking. It's a starting point. And for a lot of folks, as today, some of us just met you, and the 30-second commercial was the first thing we heard from you. Your one-on-ones and your meetings that go from here, that's the brick and mortar. That's how you build the rest of the network, and how you build your connections and make a full-blown network of people you can refer to. But that elevator pitch is the start. And so one of the things that people forget about is sometimes they put too much weight on the commercial, and too much weight on asking and giving referrals. And what I want to really emphasize for folks is that a networking referral, and make sure you download this, and please take notes on it because it'll be beneficial. But what I want to make sure I emphasize is that a networking referral is simply an introduction. It's not, your reputation is not on the line when you make a referral. Okay. It's not a recommendation. Okay. It's just an introduction. Now, we want to make recommendations when we can, and we'll make recommendations, but not every referral is a recommendation. So what we do is we qualify our introductions. Hey, I just met this person. You're looking for a VA. I just met a person who is a VA. Meet with her, see if she's the right VA for you. That's all. I'm not staking my reputation that Brenda Lee's the best VA, but she's legit. Audrey said she's good. There you go. Right? And if she is and she works out for that person, wonderful. And if she doesn't, that's okay too. Right? Is that fair? We're all okay understanding that when we make a referral, it's not our reputation, because I want you to make referrals. And if we're worried about our reputation for every introduction, we're not going to make as many referrals as we would. We're all big boys and girls, and we can make introductions without making it life and death. How's that? All right. So that being said, it's important to just remember that when we do a commercial, we want to ask for an introduction. That's important too. But because and that we're not selling to the room. Now, everybody here did a pretty good job of not selling to the room. That's something that too many groups have a bad habit of. And so the next couple blanks on the worksheet is that networking is not sales, and that networking is about making warm introductions. And I want to say, good job on not selling to the room today, folks, because that's the big foul in networking, because it turns everybody off. If you come in and say, here's how I can help you, everybody goes, never mind. Right? It's here's how I can help your friends, and here's how I can help your customers, and here's how I can help the people in your network. And then we keep our eyes and ears open for each other. And we become each other's advocates. Because that's why we're here. We're here to become each other's advocates, not to become each other's clients. Now, we naturally, organically become each other's clients because we learn to trust each other, and we learn what we need from each other. And then we hire each other. But we don't do it because we're selling to each other. We do it because we build relationships with each other. And we do it because we learn the benefits of what problems each other solves. And we learn how powerful what each of us does to make the world a better place. Now, I want to make sure that we don't think of today as a lecture as well. So if you have any questions along the way, like Wesley does, please ask them as they come up. Yes, sir.
Got to unmute before I can talk. You mentioned selling to the room. How often do you find when you do your one-to-one to get to know somebody that they automatically go into their sales pitch, or they're trying to get you as a client?
Well, it doesn't happen to me because I teach people not to do that. But yeah, that's a bad habit. If you're scheduling one-on-ones as sales meetings, you're losing business.
And that seems to be the preliminary on the 4 different networking groups that I've been a part of. It seems like everybody wants to close the sale, not get to know the business.
Right. So, and so what I'll do, I'll in a little while, I'll give you a tool to stop that. But that's a great question, just a little early, but I'll answer that for you in a little while. Thanks, Wesley. Great question. So, okay. Right now, so we're want to just focus a little bit more on being specific and only asking for 1 referral per commercial. But what we're going to do when we ask for a referral is we're not going to even ask for a customer referral. We're going to ask for a partnership referral. What does that mean? What that means is we're going to ask for a referral that keeps on giving. And so on your worksheet is a little table, which you're going to, we'll take and use this table and expand on this table, because this will be a very powerful tool for you if you use it. The first column of the table is who your customer is. Whose problems do you solve? And that, of course, is, you better know that. Who do you serve? Otherwise, why are you in business, right? But whose problems do you solve? Because that's who we want to do business with. But we use that table or that column to figure out what goes in column 2 and column 3. Because column 2 and 3 is who we're going to ask for when we network, when we do our elevator pitch, our 30-second commercial. And those are our referral partners. That's the other people who want to meet the people we're selling to. So in other words, and we'll just do this actively. Sorry, there we go. Trying to get too many things at once. There we go. All right. So for example, Sabrina, what's a good referral? What's a good customer for you? Who's your best prospect?
Well, as I put all the people in my books, the best prospect is someone who is doing more with their life than just waking up and going to a job and going home. I wanted to make sure that somebody's using their life to make the world a better place. So the best prospect is somebody who's actually active in their life, doing things that you guys are doing and promoting you. So anyone that is ready to be promoted emotionally, which is important because a lot of people say that they want help, and I help people for free. I don't charge people. So
you want someone on a mission of some sort?
Right, because if you're coming to me and I'm using my time and energy to help you for free, making QR codes, setting up websites, making promo videos, and I'm doing this free, then you better be a go-getter. Don't be like, yeah, I really want to.
Where's your revenue come from? How do you make a living?
I'm an author. I have my own revenue.
Okay. So, is it the book about these people that is how you make a living?
Yeah, basically, because like right now, my next book is 100 acts of kindnesses, and they're the QR codes.
So it's kind of like a journalism model, a little bit, where you make money reporting on the people that you work with.
Yep, that's a short, precise way of putting it.
Okay.
I help you for free so that I can put you in my book and make money later.
Okay. All right. So a referral partner for you is somebody else who wants to work with those people who have a mission.
Right. Like if you just send me somebody that really wasn't doing anything.
So just on a shortcut, who else in the room has a product or service that can help somebody who is on a mission to help other people? Raise your hand.
Linda's already in there.
Keep your hands up. I'm just saying, keep your hands up. Sabrina, take notes.
Yep, Linda's already in there. She already got her QR code.
But I'm just saying, write down who these people and their job titles are what you should use next time you do an elevator pitch.
Okay, well, I see Pam with her hand up right away. So definitely Pam.
So that's somebody who's got a retail store, perhaps. I'm using this as a way to illustrate how to identify your referral partners.
Is anybody still there? Santa Claus? Is anybody? And cakes, Demi Cakes. I'll be more than happy to do one for you, sweetie, Christina.
And again, we're describing people based on their job title. So,
well, I'm describing people based on their name.
Right, but write their name down, but you use the job title to craft the elevator pitch.
Okay, let me fix this.
Yes, Wesley, go ahead.
So I was going to say, Jeff, for the type of to keep the time going, what you're talking about is like a realtor uses somebody who does lending, or like I do children's entertainment, but I'm working with Christina because she does cakes, and I'm working with Santa Claus because he also does children's entertaining.
Correct.
We have the same client that we are marketing for. So if somebody calls me and says, hey, I want to do a birthday party, I want to use your magician, anybody that can do custom cakes? I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Right. Exactly.
That kind of thing. That's what you're looking for.
That's exactly what we're saying. And because it's a referral partner and the idea is that if you meet more and more people who have a list of people that you already want to meet, you guys can help each other the first day you meet each other.
Right. What does anybody remember what Pam said she does? I apologize, sweetie. I got in here late.
Pam has a retail boutique.
Retail, that was right.
Cotton
All right.
Patch Boutique. Go check it out.
Actually, that's not the Pam we're talking about.
Oh, wrong Pam.
Well, both
This is
Pams raised
Dr.
their hand.
Pam. I'm Dr. Pam. Okay,
Dr. Pam.
Sabrina.
Well, that's
Both
And
Pams raised your hands.
And I help people who want to make the world a better place, people who want to stay young, and people who have pain. And there's a whole set of criteria there. But basically, people who like to
Lifeway?
help people.
What is it?
Lifeway.com.
Lifeway.
Lifeway.com. Yeah.
And
Okay,
then Dr. Pepper, you had your hand up.
Dr. Pepper, what do you do?
I work with women, girls and women who want to reinvent themselves. I help them by lowering blood pressure, getting off medication, and trimming excess body weight.
So health and wellness she's a health and wellness
Health and
coach
wellness,
at one level. That's right. And then coaches, I think, Sabrina, if you just put business and life, you put life coaches as an overall ask. Did you have another question, Dr. Pepper?
No, I didn't.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, now what about,
Well, I'm gonna move on to somebody else, Sabrina, okay? But I wanted to see if anybody else is anybody a little bit stumped by the conversation about who else is selling to your customer? That's what I want to make sure we address. If anybody's a little bit puzzled by who might be potential referral partners. It's okay. We're here to help. Or is anybody stumped by how the idea works about working with somebody selling to your prospects? Everybody's got it?
yes.
Okay, good. Then I will move forward because I want to make sure we cover the rest of the worksheet. So
Jeff, if you want to make an announcement, if anybody else wants to look for referral partners, go on the Facebook page. We can do it there.
okay, sure. I just want to make sure that we don't leave. I want to make sure I don't leave anybody behind in the discussion. That's all.
Yep.
Because that's where people can get stuck sometimes. So, all right. So let's just quickly go over the three results and the three don'ts, and I'll go back. I'll return to Wesley's earlier question as well. So the three things we want to come out of the 30-second commercial are referrals today when we do the commercial. So that's why we're going to only ask for one job title today, so that people don't get confused and try to think of too many things, because we'll ask for one thing this week and we'll ask for something else next week, because it's an ongoing process. We don't network just one time. We come back again and again, so we build these relationships. And then the second result is a referral later, so that we talk about, we tell a story about why we want to meet a librarian, and then later in the week somebody meets a librarian and says, oh yeah, Wesley wanted to meet a librarian. I'm gonna get your name and give your information to Wesley. What I'm not going to do, and this happens too often, what I'm not going to do is give Wesley's information to the librarian and say, hey, Wesley, I gave your information to a librarian. I'm sure they'll be in touch. Don't do that. Get the person's card and give it to Wesley so that he can follow up. It's okay if you give them his info also, but give the info to your friends so they can follow up. It's like, hey, I gave your name to somebody the other day. Thank you. Did you get their card? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you for telling somebody about me, but
Head in the water.
yeah, but how is that? Let's do business, folks. Let's really be conscientious about that. Hey, do you have a card? Because I would love to give your card to my friend, so they can follow up with you because you want to meet them. Okay, we good with that?
Yep.
Okay, and then the third thing we want to come out of our commercials is one-on-ones. When you hear somebody say, hey, I want to meet bottle washers, then and if bottle washers is on your list or should be, then go have a one-on-one with them, because you're already a potential referral partner with them. Now, the one-on-one, if you have a clue when somebody says, hey, let's get a coffee, if you think they're just wanting to sell you something, or put you in their downline or something like that, here's what you say. I would love to have a networking one-on-one with you where we share who we want to meet. I am not looking for another revenue stream, or I am not looking for another financial advisor, or I am happy with my insurance team, or whatever the case may be. Now, it's okay if business comes out of a one-on-one, but the intent going in should not be buying from somebody or selling to somebody. Okay, let's not be using our slide decks as part of a one-on-one. Unless it's here. Let me show you this one slide about how I help customers. Not here's my pay plan. Okay, and let me give you one little, here's something that might open some eyes. If you describe the perfect recruit to be in your downline, that's also the perfect recruit to be in my downline. So downline recruiting is not something that's going to really happen in a networking group. Not as a primary thing. Customer acquisition, yes. And the customers who will wind up downline people because they love the product, absolutely. But building your team through a networking group, not a great plan. Just what I've learned over, I guess, a high school seniors' years of networking. Actually, now a college seniors' years of networking. Okay. All right. Let's do that last little threesome on here, and then we'll have some more conversations. All right. So the 3 things not to do in your 30-second commercial. And I will tell you, these 3 things set my training apart from other people's, including some of the biggest networking organizations in the world. The first thing that I suggest you not do in a 30-second elevator pitch is I suggest you not ask questions as part of the elevator pitch. So instead of saying, who in the room had a car accident this year, or who knows somebody who had a car accident? Hey, somebody in this room knows someone who had a car accident. So instead of asking a question, turn the question into a statement. And just assume the positive, and then tell the story you want to tell. You only have 30 seconds. We saw today how short that is. Questions are powerful as a speaker, but you don't have time to make them powerful in 30 seconds. Number 2, this is the big one. Don't start your commercial or end your commercial with your name, even though everybody else is doing it that way. Start your commercial with your story, end your commercial by telling people who you want to meet. Your name goes second to last. Hey, I'm Christina. Write the name of a caterer on your card and pass it to me so we can make an introduction. That's how people will remember you. And they'll remember the most important thing you want them to remember is who you want to meet. And then the third don't is don't sell to the room. So what questions do you have, folks?
Can you explain the number 2 again?
Sure. So, true story. There was a Lions Club here in the Dallas area, and they used to have people bring their guests, and they would say, hey, this is Bob. He's my guest. He's an insurance guy. And everybody in the room was supposed to say, good morning, Bob. Well, in between the time of, hey, this is Bob, and their time to say, good morning, Bob, half the room forgot Bob's name. And their whole job was to remember his name to say, good morning, Bob. But because the person started with, this is Bob, it was the first thing out of his mouth, they didn't remember it because they weren't ready to hear it yet. So they started saying, "This is my guest. His name is Bob." And then everybody remembered to say, "Good morning, Bob." People aren't ready to retain your name if it's the first thing you say.
Jeff, may I make a comment?
Sure.
Number one. Oh, sorry, Sandra, go.
Two things I noticed. In your 30-second pitch, you're telling everybody, don't say your name, because the reality of it, in 30 seconds, they've already introduced you. So you're
Well, that's
wasting
part of it
your
too. But I'm not
time.
saying don't say your name. I'm saying don't
Right.
start with your name.
Right. But tell your story because you've already been introduced. So tell your story, then end up with your product or your pitch or whatever you want to do, not your name. Is that what you're
Right.
saying?
So effective advertising, and that's what the elevator pitch is,
Right.
and with a call to action. So you do your name second to last, and then you end with a call to action. But as you remembered, Sano John, most of the time people introduce you and then you get up and do your commercial. So when they say, "Hey John, do your commercial," my name's John. Now you're just wasting some of your precious 30 seconds.
Correct.
But people also aren't ready to retain it yet either.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
The questions, what we have been taught is primarily that you do ask questions to create curiosity. In other words, who in here has ever had XYZ? Or, you know, who wants to be a millionaire, whatever. That sounds like part of the pitch I've heard before. So I hear what you're saying now, and that intrigues.
Well, you just don't have time to do it effectively in 30 seconds.
Jeff,
So,
you said it
so just
earlier.
say, some of you in here would love to be millionaires, and then carry it on that way. Yes, Yana.
Jeff said it earlier that if you, when you do questions, it's great for speakers, but it wastes your 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, it's powerful for speakers.
Yes, Yana, go ahead.
Jeff, thank you. My question is the 30-second, the 3 results. What should I write in there? I've had on second, I had referral later, but I think I missed the 3 results.
The 3 results
in your worksheet. Yeah.
Sure, a referral today,
Mm-hmm.
a referral later, and a one-on-one.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Got it.
You bet. Glad to do it. So I put the my info in the chat again because I want to point out that I have there's more ways to get this content. I have a digital bundle, which is an ebook and an audio with the full training of the 6 steps to do an effective 30-second commercial. It's only $20. Then there's also we can do a 90-minute workshop where I'll walk you through creating a new commercial. And there's a discount code there that'll get you will save you like $100 or something. It's only $197 if you use the discount code there in the chat. It's on Eventbrite. And ignore the dates. If you sign up, we'll schedule a time. If 3 of you sign up, we'll schedule a time when you want to do it. And of course, I've got my Calendly link up there where you can schedule a time to do a workshop as well. Yes, Brenda Lee.
Just repeat the third point in the 3 don'ts, please.
Don't sell to the room.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. And of course, I'm always available to speak to more groups. If you've got a group that you would like me to come speak to, I would love to do that. But as I said, the digital bundle where you get the audio and the ebook, it's only $20. Follow the link. It's a pretty good deal. Hard to pass up.
Yes, it sounds awesome. We will have to chat because I have a whole group. I'll be sharing this as well inside of my group, the Entrepreneurs Community. but I would love to have you as a guest speaker sometime.
Let's schedule
So,
it.
yes, definitely. So thank you all so much for coming. I do want to let you know, first off, to check the events guides in the Meticulous Engagements Group, because Amber has some events coming up and I cannot for the life of me remember what they are exactly. I know we have the Phantom of the Opera sometime in Minnesota. So definitely make sure that you guys end up checking in there. Check the chat as well for Jeff's little
And she's coming to
worksheet
Dallas
and
in
his
April.
information. Yes, she's coming to she's going to Dallas in April, and yeah, just go check the events page because she's got some things coming up. And I feel like there's a third one there that I'm completely missing, and this happened to her last week, so I don't know which what it is. But those two are the rodeo? Something. Anyhow, just go check the events in there. Also tomorrow night, ladies, we are having the Women Entrepreneurs Drink and Chat. This is a really good time to just relax a bit more, come in just more relaxing clothes. It is a virtual event, but it is just a time to network and get to know some other women in business. We are talking more about goal setting this month. So just come in, just have fun and stuff. Wesley, you have a question?
I just wanted to say, make sure also when you later on today go to the Facebook group and in the chat under the live, make sure you post your info, your contact, and what you do. Take that little post and do your 30-second advertisement digitally so that we can find you on there. There's over 300 and some people in the group that don't make it to our meetings. I also have got a discount and a referral option for anybody in the Meticulous Engagements Group. Go ahead and check that out. I noticed that Dr. Ron has also met my challenge. So there's a couple other things on there. So if you're not active on that group, get over there and start looking. There's a lot more information than just our Thursday morning meet and greets.
Yes. Yep,
And
Amber's group is always growing and always
I
growing.
realized I left out a link. I have a link with some free content for you as well. I'll put that up in the chat right now. Some free networking education is available at this following link. Right.
Jeff,
there.
also make sure you put that on the Meticulous Engagements page, because if somebody else is watching this later, they don't get a chance to go into the chat.
Right. I'll put that on the Facebook.
Yes, definitely. Sabrina, you have something real quick?
Yes, I am doing this QR codes, and just for clarification, because one person came to me, they don't have a business website. The QR codes, when you scan them, they need some location to go to. I need a URL. So even if it's a Facebook group page, a Facebook page, but some way, if they find you, how are they finding you other than just a phone number? So there does need, if you don't have that, like maybe you can create a Facebook page for your business so there is something, but I do need a URL.
Yep.
There are a number of digital cards that you can get a landing tree for that URL as well. If anybody's interested in that, I can give me a call.
And who said that?
Also,
Wesley.
Also, one quick point: if you don't have a website, go to mixo.io. You can create a website in 10 minutes flat. It's an AI
So
that'll walk you through it. Just give it some things you want it to be about. It'll create one for you in 10 minutes.
If you don't have website, contact Nas and do a one-to-one.
Hire a professional to create you a quickie website.
Or if you don't have the budget, it's free. All of it's free, and 10 minutes of your time. Contact me and I'll walk you through it.
Did you say, how's that spelled? MIX.io?
How about, okay, let's save a little bit of time. How about you guys just message each other? I'm sure you guys are friends on Facebook. That way you have an immediate link there. That way nothing's misspelled, nothing's mixed up. So we do have to end in a little bit because we do have other people who have to leave soon to go and do other calls. I have to go on a call in a little bit and stuff. So thank you all so much for coming. Again, check the events on the Meticulous Engagements Group, see what's going on in there. And also, if you are a woman entrepreneur, message me and I will make sure to get you the link for the Women Entrepreneurs Drink and Chat tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
posted on the page.
Thank you all so much for coming.
Audrey,
Thanks, everybody.
Audrey, good job.
Good
right.
job,
Thank
Audrey.
you.
Yeah,
Rock.
have a good
Wonderful.
day.
Thanks, Jeff.
right,
Good
thank you.
speech.
Yeah, Jeff, that
Thank you,
was really
Pop.
great.
Anna,
Yeah,
thank
good
you.
one, Jeff.
Thanks, everybody.
And thanks